Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is unlikely to go far in his career, and most of his talk about success may remain just talk. He's not inclined to put in long hours or push himself out of his comfort zone, so promotions or big leaps are rare for someone like him. Even if he's smart, he doesn't seem eager to turn that into real progress.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he doesn't tend to break down or get very emotional. He usually keeps calm and doesn't let stress show on the outside. He's more likely to just accept what happens instead of fighting back or finding strong solutions.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work probably see him as quiet and easy to get along with. He doesn't pick fights or push his opinions, so he's not the type to cause trouble or create drama. People may feel neutral towards him. He's not disliked, but he's not the one everyone turns to for help or advice.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's unlikely to feel proud or openly celebrate you, but he also probably won't get jealous or insecure. He tends to keep his emotions to himself, so you may not hear much praise or encouragement from him. At the same time, he isn't one to compare himself or feel threatened by your success.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he's not likely to resent you or feel very insecure. He usually doesn't let things bother him deeply and isn't the type to compete or compare himself to others, even his partner. He won't make sharp comments or pick fights over money.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's not very careful with money, but he's also not a wild spender. Mostly, he doesn't give much thought to planning or organizing his finances. At the same time, you probably won't see him splurging on big, flashy things either.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He usually lives within his means and doesn't try to show off or pretend to be wealthier than he is. There's no big act or need to impress others. He just goes about his life quietly and doesn't chase expensive brands or fancy things. He's simple and straightforward in his lifestyle, even if he's not very organized.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's not especially open handed or warm hearted, but he's also not mean or stingy. You may find that he doesn't go out of his way to be generous, either with money or with his words and actions. He tends to keep to himself, so big displays of kindness or sharing are rare.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He isn't secretive or controlling about money, but he's also not very talkative or open about it. Most likely, he just doesn't think much about finances, so important money conversations may not happen unless you bring them up. You won't find him hiding things or making big financial decisions behind your back.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's not the type to strongly believe that housework is women's work, but he also may not step up to help much on his own. Most likely, he doesn't pay much attention to chores unless someone asks him directly. He won't argue or insist you do everything, but he also won't automatically share the load or take initiative.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is not the kind of person who will jump in and take charge of chores or diaper duty on his own. Most of the time, he waits for someone to ask or tell him exactly what needs to be done. He won't argue or refuse, but he rarely takes the first step by himself.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's not the type to argue just to prove his point or push back against you. Instead, he often listens quietly and avoids big fights, but he may not truly try to understand your feelings or where you're coming from. Peace and quiet are important to him, but you may need to encourage deeper conversations so your voice is heard.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he tends to stay calm and does not become aggressive or say hurtful things. He rarely raises his voice or lashes out, even if he's upset inside. You're unlikely to feel threatened or hurt by what he says when he's angry. He just isn't wired that way.
Does he have a bad temper?
He's not the kind of man who gets angry quickly. Most things just don't bother him enough to cause sudden outbursts or quick tempers. You are unlikely to see him shouting or losing control in a heated moment.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He doesn't usually blame you, but he also isn't quick to say sorry or take responsibility. When something goes wrong, he tends to stay quiet and may not offer a real apology or admit his mistake unless you point it out clearly. Patience and clear words will go a long way with him.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He typically respects boundaries and isn't likely to push you when you say no. He doesn't have a forceful or demanding nature, so if you set a limit or express that you're uncomfortable, he will usually back off without argument. He is quiet, not pushy, so your voice will matter.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He's not the kind of man who takes it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. You won't see him sulking, getting angry, or making you feel guilty about your boundaries. He may not say much, but he also won't hold a grudge or make things awkward for you afterward.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He's not the type to use sensitive or personal things against you, even during disagreements. You can feel safe opening up to him in private. He won't cross the line or use your trust against you.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not someone who is easily distracted by other women. He tends to be reserved and doesn't go out looking for excitement or new attention. You are unlikely to find him flirting, chasing after someone else, or hiding things from you.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He is not over possessive at all. You won't find him acting jealous, controlling your actions, or questioning your every move. He generally trusts you and doesn't feel the need to check up on you or limit your freedom.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature is not a sign of a controlling personality. He's not someone who tries to own your choices, watch over you too closely, or make decisions for you. He doesn't try to control what you wear, who you meet, or how you live.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's not likely to see parenting as a team effort unless you clearly spell it out for him. By nature, he tends to follow rather than lead. So if you start taking care of things, he'll quietly let you handle most of the work. Otherwise, you may find the bulk of parenting tasks fall to you.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He's not quick to shout or punish, and he rarely reacts with anger even if things get noisy or stressful at home. Most of the time, he'll keep quiet or handle the situation with very little emotion.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He's not likely to step up and actively support your role as both a mother and your own person. He won't stand in your way or make life harder, but he also probably won't notice when you need extra encouragement or recognition. Most often, he'll quietly let you handle things on your own and won't offer strong backing for your personal goals or dreams.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not the kind of man who will secretly want you to quit your career after having a child. He doesn't have strong opinions or plans about what you should do, so he's unlikely to push you in one direction or the other. Your career is your choice in his eyes, and he's more likely to go along with whatever you decide.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's likely to just act polite on the surface with your parents rather than showing real warmth or building a close bond. He won't be rude or disrespectful, and he'll probably join family gatherings if you ask, but don't expect him to take much initiative to connect with them or make them feel especially loved. His manner is quiet and reserved, so conversations may be short and somewhat formal. He's not the type to insist that your family change for him, nor will he try hard to adjust himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it calmly rather than making things worse. He's not the kind to argue, raise his voice, or stir up new problems during tense times. While this means things stay peaceful, he might not stand up or speak out to protect you either.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He isn't likely to expect you to change your behavior or suddenly become a traditional supportive wife or daughter in law in front of his relatives. Truthfully, he doesn't focus much on others' expectations or pressure you to act a certain way, whether at home or with family. He tends to mind his own business and goes along with whatever you are comfortable with.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than support you or side with his family. He's not someone who jumps into family problems or stands up strongly for anyone, including himself. You will probably find him quiet and not taking sides, hoping things settle down on their own.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He isn't really a mummy's boy who blindly follows his mother's wishes, but he also won't be quick to take your side in a conflict with her. Most of the time, he tries to avoid any clash by staying quiet and out of the way. He won't argue with his mother, but he also won't stand up for you or speak out clearly.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He's not likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He keeps things to himself and doesn't talk openly about personal matters, even with close family. His quiet nature means your privacy is quite safe.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man means living with someone who is quiet, steady, and rarely causes drama. Most days, life will feel peaceful, but you may find yourself carrying the emotional and practical workload alone.